Okay, so welcome back, and now we're going to talk about prisms. So, what's a prism? Well, great question. So a prism is a solid. It's a solid that consists of two bases that are parallel. So we have two parallel surfaces. Okay, that's it. So where the bases are formed by any octagon shape. Okay, so that's it. So a prism is just a solid figure that has at least one pair of parallel surfaces. Okay, so for example, we can have two parallel surfaces that are, in this case, hexagons. Or we could have a solid that has two parallel bases that are triangles, or any other polygon, if you will. Now, any of the sides, right, any of the figures, any polygon that forms part of the solid is called a side. Or excuse me, it's called a face. So, in this case here, we've got faces here all the way around, and then we've got the two faces on the top of the bottom. So altogether, if we counted the number of faces, we would have 8 faces. 6 going all the way around for the vertical, and then we've got 2 on the top of the bottom for the top of the bottom, right? And so those are the 8 faces. Now, the top and the bottom faces are called bases. So in this case here, the parallel sides, the sides that are parallel, make the bases. The other sides that connect the bases together are called the lateral faces. Okay? Now, a couple other things to realize is that these lines, so these corners, if you will, that connect where the two faces intersect or meet, is called the edge. Okay? So these are edges. Okay? Now, the corners here, all the way around, these corners are called the vertices of the prism. Okay? What else? Okay, so now we've got a bunch of vocabulary out of the way. Let's add 2 more definitions here. So an altitude. An altitude is the perpendicular line that connects the bases together. So in this case here, a perpendicular line that would be drawn from here to here, from the bottom base to the top base, is called an altitude. If we drew a perpendicular line from this base to this base, that would be an altitude. So an altitude is a line that connects the bases and is perpendicular to the bases. Okay? Now, a right prism is any prism where the lateral faces are perpendicular to the bases. For example, this could be a right prism. This could be also a right prism. Since this has a triangle base, the way we would name this would be a triangular prism. This would be a hexagonal prism. Okay? Or in other words, if we had one that had a square or rectangular basis, it would be a rectangular prism. Okay, I think that's it. So make sure that when you're doing these, you can distinguish bases from the lateral sides. You know what the edges are versus the vertices, because you may be asked to count them, right? So for example, if I wanted you to count the faces, here I'd have 1, 2, 3, right? There's 3 lateral faces, and then we have 2 bases, so there would be 5. So there would be 5 faces in all. Okay? How many edges are there? Well, there'd be 1, 2, 3 on this side, 1, 2, 3 on that side, and then we've got the 3 edges connecting the rectangular lateral sides, right? So that would give us 9 edges. How many vertices are there? Well, there'd be 1, 2, 3 here, and 1, 2, 3 on the bottom, so that'd be 6. Okay. So again, just make sure you know the distinguishing features of a prism and know the definitions. Have a great day.